Well, yes, it's that time again for a little Nikki in the Hood, and I'm actually really happy today to talk about something that is so important. Here at Jim's Automotive, Jim Maddox is teaching us all about car seat safety, and what's more important than the children? Nothing really, right? And on top of the children being important is the children's safety, and we're going to talk all about that today. Okay, so Jim, you know an awful lot about car seat safety, and for parents, babysitters, aunts, uncles, anybody that's taking care of a child in a car, this is a #1 concern, and there are lots of tips and a lot of misconceptions involved in car seat safety. So get us started on some of the things we need to first consider.
Okay. This label that's on the very back, all the labels on the seat, but this label back here on the back specifically tells us the date that it was manufactured, September of 2010.
Right.
And on this one it tells us that it expires in 2016.
And you wouldn't think that a car seat expires. A lot of people hand-me-down, you know, these are hand-me-down gifts all the time, and also garage sale gifts, as you were saying earlier.
Garage sales and flea markets. The plastic deteriorates. There is a built-in lifespan of plastic, and as the plastic gets older, it starts to get more brittle. The labels that are on the seat are really important.
Okay.
Every label on all the sides has got information that you, the parent, the guardian, maybe the daycare person needs to know.
Well, you know, and you were saying, it was funny, we were talking earlier, you were saying, you know, when you get Tupperware, you immediately take off the label. When you get certain gifts, you immediately rip the label off. But in this case, you never want to do that.
Leave the labels on there. I don't care how tacky you think they look. There's a lot of important information: the height, the weight, the way the seat belt should be routed through the seat, how the latches work on the latch systems, where the belt paths are for the belts to go. 4 out of 5 car seats are incorrectly used in some form or fashion.
4 out of 5?
4 out of 5.
That's a horrible statistic.
That's an amazing amount of children that are in potentially harm's way.
Now, I want to talk also about, the actual function of the seat, because there's a lot of different functions to each seat, and as we were talking about, the way that you buckle up, I would say that's probably the #1 thing, is buckling up correctly, right?
Buckling up correctly, making sure that the straps and the harnesses are situated correctly, but probably more important than that is make sure that the seat is in the car correctly so that it doesn't flop around and doesn't become a projectile in the event of an accident. It's very important that you choose the correct seat for the correct child, or the correct size, and it's very important that you know that they can be rear-facing or forward-facing. We want to make sure, or we want to have the child in a rear-facing seat as long as possible.
Really?
Even if their feet are touching the back of the seat and they look like a little frog, they're safer facing rear than they are forward.
So now the first thing is you just put this in, and you would put it against the driver's seat, or does it matter?
You can choose either place in the rear. Actually, the safest place in the vehicle is right here in the center. On this one, we have the option to use the seat belts or what's called a latch system. And the latch system are these guys right here. They go down into the seat, and there's hooks. On late model cars, there's hooks that these can attach to. And this is called a latch system. So we're going to be using the latch system. This is typically the easiest for the parent to use. Is the latch system. In order to put it in correctly, you really need to put some weight into the seat. To make sure that it doesn't move.
Well, now we've got the seat situated. We know that that's safe. But now the most important is getting that child safely in the seat. So for all intents and purposes, this would be our little child that we're using today. And she would go in this seat. And let's see how this works.
She's going to be rear-facing. And we want to make sure that she's strapped in correctly. And the harness, it's very important that the harness be specifically positioned. Across the breastplate for this buckle. Equal to or a little bit lower than the shoulders. For rear-facing seats. Forward-facing, that changes, but we're working with rear-facing. So we want to make sure that she's buckled in correctly and tight enough.
A lot of buckles.
Since she's a small baby, we may have a little problem getting her as tight as they need to be. But basically, you pull her into place, make sure that this is across the chest plate. And you know that it's correctly the right tightness when you can't pinch this belt and get anything between your fingers.
Okay,
so she should be safe and secure.
Well, Jim, clearly not only do you know about safety under the hood and safety with your cars, but you sure know a lot about car seat safety and keeping those kids protected. And there's other places we can go to get more information, right?
Yes, SaferNM.org.
Okay.
It's an organization, a nonprofit, that does a lot of work with child seat safety.
Great, and you can get ideas on what kind of car seat's just right for your own child.
Yes.
And that's fantastic. Thank you for the wonderful advice,
You're
Jim.
welcome.
Jim's
My
Automotive,
pleasure.
certainly for all of your automotive and safety needs. Can I
Thank
keep
you.
her?
Sure.
She is so cute.
The Santa Fe Winter Fiesta kicks off tomorrow. 10 days of winter festivities through February 5th, including great room rates at Santa Fe's premium hotels, discounts at restaurants, discounts on the ski mountain, a 13-bar bar crawl, concerts, and more. Visit SantaFe.com for all your Winter Fiesta information. Santa Fe Winter Fiesta, it's an adventure up there.